Welcome to Public Safety Talk Radio, the podcast for all of our heroes in public safety, including law enforcement professionals, firefighters, EMTs, corrections officers, healthcare workers, and more. The show is produced by the POCUA and is founded upon its Soundness initiative. This episode is sponsored by the Finest Service Organization, a provider of line-of-duty death loan protection through many of our POCUA institutions. I am Ken Bator, your host for Public Safety Talk Radio, and I'm riding solo for this very short episode. We're in between a few interviews, and I'm doing some traveling to do some work with one of our great police credit unions that's doing just awesome things for law enforcement and other first responders. But I wanted to take an opportunity to shout out to the Washington law enforcement. Just came back from the Pacific Northwest True Crime Festival, covered them for Podcast Magazine, and I had a chance to meet with a number of Washington law enforcement. A couple of folks, great folks, Officer Matthew Roberson and Jennifer Danner. She is the crime prevention coordinator and community outreach professional. Did an amazing job of doing a session in that event on personal safety. And while there were a number of things that I had already heard, and hopefully you've already heard, they really approached it and did an excellent job with that. One of the things that I learned, and I don't think we talk enough about, is that if you're in a situation where somebody's carjacking you or trying to kidnap you, you don't go to another location with the perpetrator. Give them your stuff, but basically hold the line there. And I don't think that we talk about that enough as a prime tenet of safety. And I think of a case just a couple weeks ago in California where an entire family was killed and were shown on video with their hands tied and being led out at gunpoint by one perpetrator. And I remember thinking at that time, even before I met with these two officers, that this would be the time to fight back. You don't want to go to another location. But they did an awesome job on that safety presentation, and I'm hoping to get one or both of them on as guests for Public Safety Talk Radio. Have some other great episodes coming up. I have an episode with Sarah Ferris from Stop the Killing, which talks about active shooter situations. I have a couple of officers that I have on the queue, as well as hopefully a couple of firefighters, because we haven't forgotten about you here at the POCUA and Public Safety Talk Radio. We love all first responders. Obviously, at the POCUA, we do have a little bit of extra affinity for our law enforcement since that's how we got started, but appreciate everything that you do. And also, before I sign off here in this short episode, and then we get back to the interviews in the weeks to come, I want to give a little bit of an update on the POCUA for 2023. I know we haven't had an event since the Public Safety Business Summit in Savannah in March of 2022. In fact, in a future episode, I even plan on sharing a little bit of the panels that we had during that particular event, because we really had some great content, and you deserve to see some of that. But obviously, if you want to see all of it, you need to come to our events. And we're currently in the planning stage with our double platinum sponsor, which is AmTrust in the Killed in Line of Duty Insurance, on possibly having our next big event in New York in May of 2023. That is very tentative, but I know a lot of folks have asked what we're looking to do and what we're planning. And right now, that is the tentative, and I do really stress, very tentative plan to try and get that done and partner with them to do it in New York, New York. But as always, thank you to all the listeners that continue to join us, whether it's via YouTube, whether it's via Spotify, Apple, or whatever podcast platform that you particularly use. I appreciate you. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the messages. And I truly appreciate you sharing Public Safety Talk Radio with all of your friends and family. So thank you. But we'll be back with you really soon with some really great guests. Public Safety Talk Radio is produced by the POCUA. POCUA is a consortium of financial institutions serving law enforcement as well as other first responders and public safety professionals. To learn more about our association and to find one of our credit unions or service providers near you, go to www.policecreditunions.com. And always remember, if you aren't working with one of our POCUA credit unions, you're just banking with an institution that just so happens to serve first responders. As a public safety professional, you and your family deserve better. Find a POCUA credit union today.